I love The Sims, and I love Twilight, and recently it's been seeming like The Sims wants me to think of Twilight whilst playing. It all started back in 2017 when The Sims 4 Vampires came out. Immediately, you can probably guess the link between this pack and Twilight, but I feel that the similarities go a little deeper than the basic concepts. For example, both in Twilight and The Sims 4, vampires are very difficult to kill through any means other than by using fire. If you don't believe me, you should watch my video where I try to lock 8 Sims in a deadly house together. They also both have the ability to run super fast. And in both systems, vampires can have different special abilities from each other, like mind reading and super self-control. As well as this, I feel that the Vitor siblings are based on the Cullens, as both families see themselves as good vampires, or vegetarians, and dislike vampires that feed from actual people. In fact, there have actually been Twilight hints since the base game with the Dusk novels, a trilogy of very clearly Twilight-inspired plots. As far as I know, the second and third installments were only released after Werewolves came out, but the original has always been there. The description of Dusk reads, "This is the classic that started it all. Supernatural romance at its best. Young Darla must decide between a bad boy vampire and a nice werewolf boy who is friends with her dad. Guess who she picks? Dusk 2 Moonrise has this description. How does Darla handle it when her secret vampire boyfriend suddenly disappears from her life? She doesn't. She completely shuts down as a person. Read about how she literally sits in a chair and does nothing while months slip by. A great read for young girls, says the author." And finally, the description for Dusk 3 Shadow Moon is, "Darla is set to be wed to her bad boy vampire when a conflict erupts between the werewolves and the vampires. With her nice boy werewolf ready to join the fray, emotions erupt and one kiss changes it all. Read as she goes back and forth again on who she actually likes. Her selection will leave you howling with delight." These fictional books are obviously meant to be Twilight parodies, and I feel just contribute to the growing evidence that The Sims and Twilight are linked. Earlier this year, The Sims 4 Werewolves came out, and with it, so did many more Twilight Easter eggs. In a poster from the Werewolves pack, the description reads, "Promotional materials from some of the most popular films featuring iconic werewolf film stars Sam Quill and Leah Embry, both born and raised in Moonwood Mill back in the day. Even though they took their talents to the Starlight Boulevard those many years back, their films garnered cult followings among the residents of their hometown. At this point though, most people haven't actually seen their movies. They just put the poster up because they like the aesthetic. And you know what? That's valid. This whole description is littered with references to the Get Famous expansion pack. But what I'm most interested in are the names of the iconic werewolf film stars. Sam Quill and Leah Embry are actually both mashups of 4 Twilight characters from the second book, New Moon. Sam, Quill, Leah and Embry are all werewolves from Twilight. I find this very interesting as the Sims team is known for including hints at upcoming projects in previous pack item descriptions. Like how, in Snow Escape, there are a collection of plates called Paranormal Plates, and the next stuff pack to come out was Paranormal Stuff. More obviously a reference to Twilight is the rivalry between vampires and werewolves. To quote Chaos from the final Twilight book, Breaking Dawn, "The children of the moon have been our bitter enemies from the dawn of time." Surely there is no rivalry more iconic than that of vampires v werewolves, and that is portrayed very heavily in the Werewolf pack. Containing scratched up portraits of Vlad and other vampires, this game pack shows just how hated vampires are by werewolves. In fact, in Sims lore, the only reason werewolves exist was to defeat all the vampires. After The Sims 4 Werewolves came out, a new expansion pack was released, titled The Sims 4 High School Years. And as of right now, I have been unable to uncover any potential Twilight references, except for the fact that Twilight does take place in a high school. If you spot any more solid hints, that would be amazing if you could let me know in the comments. With all these Twilight-related packs, it's almost as though the Sims team wants me to record a scene-by-scene recreation of the Twilight movies. Although seriously, if anyone would want to see that, I would be open to making it. You may be wondering, what could the Sims team have possibly been hinting at with all these Twilight references? And luckily, you came to the right video, because I believe I have discovered the meaning behind these incessant Twilight hints, and it all lies in the most anticipated announcement the Sims team has made in a while. The Sims 5. Officially, it isn't called The Sims 5 yet, but I think it's safe to assume that is what it will be the equivalent to. But what is the name of this mysterious project, and how does it link to Twilight? Well, as it was announced, the new Sims game, coming out sometime in the unforeseeable future, is called Project Renee. If this name rings any bells, that may be because it is the name of Bella from Twilight's mother, and also bears similarities to the much more recognisable name of Bella's demon child, Renesmee. Whilst the Sims team claims they named their upcoming project this because of its connotations of renewal, renaissance, and rebirth, I believe the true reason is to finally pay off from all the Twilight references we, as a player base, have been given throughout the years. Not that I'm complaining. What do you think? Is this the real reason behind The Sims 5's mysterious codename? Or is it all a coincidence? Only the Sims team knows, I suppose. If you enjoyed this video, it would be amazing if you could like, subscribe, or share it with a friend. If you want me to do more Twilight content, leave a comment and maybe I will.